Love, Victor is a series starring Michael Camino as a young teenage boy named Victor who has just moved to this town called Creekwood from Texas with his family to basically get a fresh start on life. This is a series which is actually a continuation of the movie Love, Simon, and I personally love Simon, excuse the pun. So to basically give you a little bit of a background, Love, Simon is the story of a boy who's gay but hasn't come out to anyone. No one really knows. He knows, but no one else does, and a few things happen and a few things get in the way, and this is kind of a similar-ish story, but it's not quite the same. And I personally think that's a very, very good thing, where it's similar and it's similar styles, but it's not the same and it's a different story and therefore feels a lot fresher. Now Victor starts to write to Simon. He arrives in Creekwood and starts writing to Simon over his phone about his problems and his struggles and that kind of thing. He kind of started writing to him and didn't think Simon would respond, and then suddenly Simon responded, and so they have this really cool back and forth going throughout the series. But the reason why it's different is we're actually not sure what's going on with Victor. He doesn't even know himself, and it's really, really interesting to see that he knows he gets feelings for guys, but he also knows he gets feelings for girls, but he doesn't know if the feelings are the same. So he's just trying to figure things out. So being straight up with you guys, when I watched the movie Love, Simon, I was actually on a plane. I was going somewhere and I was not in a good space. I was going to where I was going not for great reasons, and so I was a pretty big mess when I watched it. And in a great turn of events, my brain was like, "Yeah, watch this really cool, fun movie that is about a guy who's coming out." And wow, what a mistake, because I cried like a little baby pretty much the whole way through. It's a really, really cool movie, and so when they announced the series, I was really excited. I'm not usually someone who gets very emotional just in general, but movies and series tend to bring it out of me. I sometimes feel just in general that I'm a bit dead inside. Like certain things that should matter don't, and certain things that where it's like you should be feeling this, I don't, but when it comes to movies and when it comes to series, I do. And so when I'm looking for a series like this, it's something where I need to feel it. It's not these big huge stories with great plots and twists and anything. This is a story about relationships, and well, yeah, this series does. This series makes you feel a lot. So one thing you guys have to know is with this series is that it's a bit cheesy and corny, but in a good way. I've been in a relationship for 8.5 years, and we got married. We've been married for the half years, part of that sentence. And I have to admit, if people might say, "Oh, it's a bit cheesy and it's a bit corny," and I'll respond by going, "Yeah, but that's kind of like the relationship I've got." So a lot of my relationships, there's a lot of cheesy and corny stuff that happens, but that's part of its unique vibe. And it's the same with this series. There are things that seem super cheesy and super corny, but those are the moments where it's like, yeah, that feels real, that feels great. And I really like how they portrayed this series, and what everyone involved did with this series. But it is important to know that, like, in this series, it's not just about Victor trying to find out about his sexual orientation and that kind of thing. It's actually about just all of these relationships that are built. And I'm not just talking about relationships between in girls and guys and guys, or girls and girls, that for dating purposes. I'm talking about relationships with your sibling, with your mom, your dad, your best friend, that kind of thing. And this series that is its bread and butter, and it does it so well. I mean, for me personally, the relationship in this series that I actually bond to the most is the relationship that Victor has with his sister, and it's a very unique way. Their family life isn't like the best, but it's not the worst, and it's very similar to something where I came from, where I had to lean on my older sister quite a lot, and I see that a lot in this series. And for me, it's my favorite. So just from a technical standpoint with regards to the directing and cinematography and music and that kind of thing, there's nothing for me that stands out from that side of things. But the parts that stand out are the acting, and it's subtle, but the directing. You can very much tell that there's a lot of care with the way things are done, and the writing and the portraying of these characters and their relationships. And I have to give a big shout out to Ali Wong. She plays a teacher. She's hilarious. It's really cool. My wife didn't recognize her just for a little bit, and I was like, no, I'm pretty sure that's Ali Wong, and she's really good. And just moving on with this idea of relationships, episode 8 is a really cool episode. It is an episode which for me sticks out, and actually has a great message when it comes to young people, something that I wish I would have actually acknowledged and known when I was growing up. The message is, high school sucks, guys. High school sucks so much, and for some people it's the best time of their life, and for some people it's not. For me, it wasn't. For Victor, it's like average. It's okay, but I mean, the stuff that he's going through. And episode 8 is one of those episodes where you kind of get the message of high school is not the be-all and end-all. There is a whole life outside of high school, and it is so important to find yourself in high school. High school should be this like safe space to try and figure out where you are in your life and where you want to go. But a lot of kids and people around you tend to make that miserable and scary, and this episode is like it's a wake-up call for Victor to basically show him life isn't high school. Life is what you choose it to be. You choose what you want in your life. No one else can determine that. Not everyone has the answers, but you can decide what you want to make your life, and how you want to mold it. And I think it's a really cool episode and message to send. So whilst I do really love this series, it doesn't hit my top mark because I'm very happy with the way this series kind of concluded, the season concluded. I know season 2 is coming out there. Hulu did order it, and I'm excited for it, and especially the way they end it. But it just doesn't hit that top spot. I did find myself getting a little bit bored towards the beginning of the season, but as soon as you've got, I think, 3 episodes in, 3-4 episodes in, it really takes off. But it's just not required watching all the way through. So I'm giving it my rating of, it definitely had my phone down, and don't you dare disturb me while I'm watching it. I am excited for season 2. I know it's going to take its time because of, well, this whole thing that's going on in the world, but we'll wait patiently, and yeah, we'll see where things go. Alright guys, that's my review for Love, Victor. It's on Hulu, and yeah, let me know, have you seen it? Do you want to see it? Let me know what you think. If you like the video, hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys around.